John Heyman now lives in Jacksonville, and his life's work is helping children. His passion comes from knowing firsthand what it's like to be abused and exploited as a child. As the saying goes, everyone has a story to tell. Well, Heyman's story will captivate you.
That gives you an idea of what it was like. Just long hallways with door, and kids all inside the doors. It was creepy, just creepy that any kid would even live there.
John Heyman's recollection of exactly what went on within these walls is at times sketchy. Some of it he prefers to forget. For the first 5 years of his life, Heyman called the Athens Infant Asylum home.
That's the bread box.
During a visit to the asylum back in 2008, now an art gallery, Heyman was approached by an older woman who worked there. She helped fill in the blank spaces for this now father of 3.
She brought this to us and she said, "This is the doctor." And I said, "The doctor?" Because I didn't know about this part of my life. "This is the doctor that signed your death certificate." I said, "What?" And she said, "That's how they could put you out into the community. It's because your real parents then thought you were dead."
Heyman was told he and others left at the asylum were rented out to strangers. Families would put the children to work, sometimes as beggars in the streets.
I do believe they may have abused us so we looked hurt, because we were, and we were famished too. I mean, we were skinny.
There's a movie set in India Heyman couldn't bring himself to watch until several years after its release.
If you've ever seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire, you know that they use the kids as beggars, professional beggars, and that was my memory of professionally begging from people.
The Parthenon, a magnificent piece of Greek history, serves as a dark reminder for Heyman. He recalls stealing from tourists at this very site.
But I always remember handing that stuff to those adults. It was the rubble or any kind of coins or any wallets. It was always handing that to these adults, and then they would feed me.
In 1957, Heyman's life took a turn that still leaves him to wonder, why me?
This shows you my Greek name, Panteleimon Koudanos.
Unbeknownst to the Heymans, they illegally adopted Panteleimon Koudanos. Published articles, Bread Box, and Black Market Baby support groups share the stories Heyman over the years has been told. Allegations of illegal adoption rings flourishing in Greece for more than a decade after the 1946 through 49 Civil War. Claims of babies being stolen from their Greek parents and shipped all over the world to adoptive parents unaware.
My parents paid the bill, but those people were not in the plane with us.
This bill, dated January of 1957, shows the Heymans paid for their 2 adopted children to be flown from Greece to the U.S. supervised. But instead, they flew alone to New York. One nearly 5 years old, thin and frail, the other still a baby, carried in a basket.
When we arrived, it was just me and the basket with the baby in it.
Little John and his adopted sister, Martha, would become a part of the type of loving family Heyman says every child deserves.
He chose his path to help other people.
Brian is one of Heyman's 3 children. His wife, Cheryl, says it wasn't until they were married for several years and had kids that he decided to open up about his past, helping her to more clearly understand the present.
And he has such a heart for children, wants to do what's best for kids on a big scale, and I think that comes from his ability to remember how it was.
Now the CEO of the Jacksonville Children's Commission, he advocates on behalf of children, working to make sure their needs are met.
I don't want kids to hurt like I did, and I know they do. I know they do right here in Jacksonville.
Unlike many so-called bread box babies, Heyman has no desire to find out who left him here on Perea Street.
The Heymans love me. I'm a child of the Heymans.
Heyman believes he was likely dropped off at the Athens Children's Asylum because his parents couldn't afford to care for him. That was the case for many parents after the Greek Civil War. Heyman told me he wanted to share his story to inspire others to look outside of their own world, your own comfort zones, and invest your time in Jacksonville's children. To find out more about the Jacksonville Children's Commission, we have a link on our website. That's firstcoastnews.com.